So can it run Crisis?
I don't think any computer ever will. It's like it's a good engine, but it's a bad engine at the same time. It's remarkable. Anyway, we are not prepared. Oh,
Actually, this boss is easy if you have good timing, because if you manage to get to a spot where she takes a swing at you with her weapon, and like you have like half a second to fire the shotgun, and she can't hit you.
and then of
But
course there's just her running away.
But as I mentioned, I get wrecked by this boss, so that should tell you how that doesn't always work.
Slash, slash,
Oi.
slash, slash. She really does like running around though, huh?
Yeah, and with the knife, she's like, nope, nope, nope.
Nope.
That sound is pretty awful.
Presumably this is leading into phase... Oh, hello. Is there going to be more than one?
I mean, this is a new one, and she has a pistol.
No, I mean like at the same time.
No.
Oh.
In combat is simply not good enough for that.
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
Why are you running away? You have a pipe.
Also
You
camera.
can totally beat a shotgun, right?
So are we gonna eventually fight one that has a shotgun as well?
No, actually.
Oh.
Much worse.
The SMG?
Yeah, that's next.
They don't make you fight one that has the shotgun though?
Oh, I think I cut out the time I get owned.
Oh,
Okay.
That horse's head is jittering.
Yeah, I cut out the part where I get... Yeah, SMG Elessa. Literally, I did not see her, and all of a sudden, all my health was gone.
Well, meleeing with an SMG seems counterproductive.
Well, she won't fire at you if you're like within 2 feet of her. So if you're more than 3 feet, you just gotta hide until she gets close. At least there's horses to hide behind.
And we did it. Welp. That was a jarring transition.
So basically, Alessa, like the us of previous, decides to off us because she doesn't want to have to deal with what's coming.
Again, considering that we're going to be the reason for unleashing hell upon the world, I'm not sure that's a bad idea.
The problem is Valtiel won't let us die.
That too.
I mean, we don't realize that cannot... Well, maybe we... No, we don't realize that. Because I don't think Heather remembers anything from save point until death.
You can't...
But, you know, canonically, she might have died hundreds of times already. Probably not. It explains how she survives the hardest game in the series.
Because a demon wants you to.
Yeah, basically. That's actually kind of a horrifying idea, don't you think?
Yeah. I will say I appreciate that, like, some of them are too, like, low texture quality to be able to actually, like, make it out very well, but I appreciate that the text that you read on, like, walls and documents and stuff is the actual text.
Yeah. Like, you can actually read some of the birthday cards without actually needing the text of the birthday card.
Yeah, and that's been consistent throughout the entire game, and that's a little bit of detail that a lot of games, especially back in 2003, would not have put in.
Ow.
Like, it's I like that attention to detail. That's pretty good. It's pretty nice. Like that door. The text we just read is the actual text on that door. You know?
Yeah, they're very good. I'm a fan.
Good. Hi, Claudia. Guess what? We're bringing God to you.
It was Vincent, wasn't it? He led you here.
So are we ever gonna actually see this baby God, or does it get resolved by the ending?
But it's just as
Both.
well. Hearing you here also serves
Are we
my
gonna have to kill Baby God?
Checkmate.
That's a complex question.
Not yet. The time.
I'm gonna let you find out for yourself. The ending is
The time.
the second to last cutscene's an amazing thing.
Sins.
I
When the
presume we're gonna have to
paradise
kill
we
Baby God.
long dreamed for will arrive
I'll let you see.
after the judgment and atonement, an eternity of bliss.
So are you gonna justify for us like how all of these hellspawn are totally like necessary now, Claudia?
That's not what I want.
She does in the second last cutscene.
Not
Oh.
you. Alessa.
Your
Your
true
true
self. What are you
But
talking
I am
about?
Alessa.
My little Claudia, my dear.
What?
Alessa.
Wait, what?
Is it you?
Isn't this creepy AF?
Don't need another world. It's
I'm pretty sure that Heather's just faking
You
it.
saved yourself. The
But she
world
might not be because
was flamed
Alessa
with
like
fire.
tried to kill Heather because she didn't want what was about to happen.
Alessa, don't you want happiness?
I mean, I would think that it would be easier to be happy if the whole world isn't being overrun by demons, but that's just me.
We all need God's salvation.
Listen, suffering is a fact of life. Either you learn how to
Well, now she sounds like Heather again, so yeah.
Yeah.
You can stay in your own little dream world, but you can't keep hurting other people. Besides, I'll never forgive you for hurting my father.
I wish only for the
Holy.
salvation of mankind. But for that to
Admittedly,
happen,
like,
the
this is the
world
same
must first
justification
be
that
remade.
Lovecraft
And
cults
for that,
always
we
use as
need
well.
God.
You self-righteous witch! No one asked you to help.
Oh, Baby God.
It's growing within you.
Oh,
Despise me, don't you?
you just, like, shoot her. Like, you have your gun out right now. You
She
just,
can't focus.
all you have to do is point and shoot. It's point and click. Like, come on.
Actually, there's a sequence where you do get to shoot her, but if you shoot her, you die. It's amazing.
Of course. Oh, and now we're going into tarot cards too. That's alright.
Yeah. Taro. Why? What's cool is that there's a soundtrack on the soundtrack there's a song called Sun, and it's just these 6 pictures I'm gonna look at. It's just these lyrics. Like, it's just
Oh god.
Mary McGlynn just reading these over music. It's kind of amazing.
Well then. So what you're telling me is this is the beginning of how Me Without You got big.
It's by the way, this is not an accurate understanding or recollection of biblical creation. Like, I just need to make that clear. Like, do not base your understanding of the Bible off of these, because it does not work.
In the beginning, God had a really big disco party, and everyone was having a lot of fun, but then Satan showed up, and he was a real downer. He was trying to, like, make everybody do drugs and drink and stuff, and, like, God totally wasn't down with that. So he kicked Satan out, but, like, Satan had a bunch of friends at the party, too, and they got really mad, and they were like, God, dude, why'd you just chuck our bro out on the street? Like, that's not cool, man. You're supposed to be accepting of everybody. Like, how could you even do that? And so they left, and then the entire party, like, the mood was just killed, and everyone else left, and God was all alone in his still disco home with nobody to party with. And yeah, everybody else started hanging out with Satan, and then that's how sin came to the world.
Okay, maybe this game isn't quite that bad.
I don't know what you're talking about. That is a perfect 100% recreation of the biblical Christianity creation myth.
All I need you to do is when we inevitably finally do our like best moments reel, that little story there needs to be on. Even though I do not approve.
All right. So what are we doing with all these pictures we just looked at? Are they just there?
They're there for lore's sake.
Ah. Okay.
So this is where Heather's like memories of Alessa she begins leaking through. So she starts talking about like, I remember being here before and stuff like that.
Sure.
Although very quickly, this is like, we're almost at the end of the church sequence, and it just goes straight into the dream hell sequence.
Great. That seems
there's always one of those.
Yeah, that seems like a pretty natural progression.
You draw more of the map as you play.
Okay.
So here's the confessor.
Sure. Is he a bad dude?
She might be a bad lady.
Oh, okay.
Why don't you listen and decide for yourself?
So...
It's not Claudia.
It's a Silent Hill monster, isn't it?
I don't think so, actually.
Please forgive me
So we get the choice to either do it or not?
for this sin.
Yeah.
What happens one way or the other?
And I'll go to my death gladly.
If you do, you get 1,000 points towards the possessed ending.
Sure.
But please,
Otherwise, there's no real
grant me
change.
just a small piece of your everlasting
It's...
mercy. Let
meh.
me see my child once within your golden gates.
Is there no, like, different cutscene depending on what you do, or...
Yeah, there is. Like, there is no cutscene if you don't do anything. But if you say I forgive, then like Heather's like I forgive you, and then the person on the other end like doesn't like gives another little weep, but then she seems to be feeling a lot better about her life.
Well then. Why is there no cutscene if you don't forgive her?
Because you don't say anything.
Still.
She doesn't know this. She's confessing to God. She doesn't realize there's anyone else in the confession booth.
Ah. Alright.
God, I am a child, trembling with fear as I stare at death.
How did this person get in here anyway?
Well, she's in the other booth. It's just we can't open it because she's in here.
Yeah. But I mean, like, we're in a Silent Hill church, aren't we?
No, this is real life church.
Is it?
Yeah, this is real life church.
Oh, God.
Although it will very shortly stop being real life church.
We keep moving back and forth between, like, Hell World and Real World so quickly. That's like, what will you do?
It like locks me into not saying anything. Okay.
Alright. Nothing more to be said. Goodbye.
So yeah, this is real church. This continues to be real church.
Until we go down this hallway.
Yeah, and then it's going to stop being real church for the rest of the game. Yeah, that's not real church anymore.
It so quickly just switches back and forth.
Jeez.
Like,
look how little ammo I got.
yeah, no shotgun shells. Time to use our revolver clipazines.
All right, so that's not real church there.
Is there?
I'm like, hold on a second here. Let's just do this instead.
Is there any explanation for how or why
Let's do this.
the transition
That'll do.
between real world and hell world is so like rapid?
Valtiel's presence seems to be a big part of it. All right, we're no
Or is it
longer in
just
real
like-
church.
Well, yeah, that seems pretty obvious. G. Look at
It's
this
not
chump.
dead. Why does he have really good shoes? Could you please
Wow,
die?
that's a lot of kicking.
It's not dying.
Oh, man, he's back up. Alright.
Now he dead.
Took long enough, jeez. It's almost like a It's almost like that keeps happening in Silent Hill. It's almost,
I mean, this is like based out of Alessa's nightmare.
well, it's almost
world,
like Silent Hill
and
has
she spent
an
so much
obsession
time
with
in the
hospitals
hospital
or something.
Well, it works. Like, because in 1 and 2, Alessa spent like half her life in a hospital. And in horrible pain, constantly.
Sure.
And in Silent Hill 2, the protagonist lost his wife in a hospital. So,
Yeah.
you know, it follows. And then 4 has a hospital,
Yeah.
but like no nurses. So, that's something. Because you have to find Eileen in a hospital. Because she gets really badly hurt. People get badly hurt in Silent Hill. Would you believe it?
I can't believe it. Lock's broken. Another one of these guys.
Yeah. There's not too many more of him to deal with. Which is good, because he's a pain in the oversized ass.
Ugh. What a face, too. Like, jeez.
Yeah, I'm just like, screw it. Let's just shoot him
Yeah,
while he's
exactly.
down.
Well,
Ow.
at least they don't explode or anything.
Oh, that pus leaking out of his belly, though.
Like, think of how gross it would be if they exploded. Yeah, just kick him a couple times to make sure.
Well, nothing will be quite as bad as that one hospital hallway, and we both know it.
That's good. Question mark?
That's a lie, by the way. There will be one sequence that's much, much worse than the hospital hallway in terms of grossness, but that's not for a bit.
Well, in terms of grossness, though, that's fine. As long as it's not in terms of, like, difficulty.
I mean, the hospital hallway wasn't difficult. It was just meaty and gross.
Unwavering faith. Miraculous hands.
His name's St. Nicholas. That seems weird. And then... I like this line. This is a great line. I'm holding the baby, and I'm the baby being held.
What?
If you never played Silent Hill 1, did you?
Not for, again, more than, like, an hour.
So in Silent Hill 1, it ends with Alessa, the first child, and Cheryl, the second child, merging into one and then getting killed. But as she dies, she gives Harry Mason Heather, so that she's a third child. So she's 3 people, is what I'm trying to say here. She's lived 3 lives. 2 of them were 7 years long, and this one's 17 years long. So yeah, she's kind of 34. She's kind of, like, 31 years old.
Once again, I'm gonna say, like... And people say that, like, Kingdom Hearts has convoluted lore. It's...
Silent Hill 3's lore is the most extensive and the most convoluted. 2's easy. You did a bad, and now you suffer. That is your lore.
Yeah. What's with the, crying?
Yeah. When you hear the girl crying and you watch the bloody footprints, they, like, go into the picture.
Great.
And so that gives Heather the idea to move the picture, which reveals a door.
That seems like a good idea.
Hi, Valtiel.
So
We cannot shoot Valtiel.
is he gonna be a boss at some point?
Not himself.
Oh. So we just, like, see him repeatedly throughout the course of the game and can't ever do anything about it?
Yeah.
And there's no, like, interaction. We never say anything about it. It's just like, what's
No,
this?
he's just there.
Yeah, what's this thing that's always...
The closest we get is when you... Oh, jeez. Is when you, like, climb the ladder in the hospital, the really long one, and Valtiel's, like, turning a wheel.
Yeah.
That's the closest you ever get to him. Unless you die, then you come in direct contact with him.
This seems bad. Hi. Weren't you a boss?
This is a much smaller version that dies a lot easier.
Don't you, well,
Look how far they fly when you give them a good shot. It's like, whee!
Don't you love games that turn boss fights into normal enemies later on?
There's only a few of these guys to deal with. Tragically, they're not actually called missionaries now. They're called scrapers.
But we're in the chapel.
I know, right? It's right there. But, oh well.
So, I like how the additions that we're making to the chapel map are in, like, just this like, pen.
Yeah.
Again, small attention to detail. Very nice. But this Silent Hill was actually, like, one of the first game series that, like, actually kind of utilized game maps as an in-game mechanic more than just like, oh, this is how you navigate. Because when you find, you know, doors that you can't go through, or
they actually scratch them off. Yeah,
and areas that lead to other areas, it like has arrows that show you where things lead, and it's like, that's good map design. Like, that is intensely good map design, and no other game does that. Like,
I don't like this book.
Is it?
This book is...
Is it more heresy?
A little bit. It's talking about how this is totally just a mild offshoot of Christianity. It's a bit more than a mild offshoot.
This is totally actually just, like, mainstream Christianity. Didn't want to tell you guys that, but...
Why are you doing this to me? Okay, this cutscene's amazing. Okay?
Is this Vincent
I
again?
love... Yeah.
What is he doing? How did you get here?
I like Heather's like, ugh.
Hiya, Heather.
Shoot him in the face.
You show up everywhere, don't you?
He's a demon. Shoot him.
Make me sound like some kind
She's sick of him too.
What
Don't
is-
worry, he digs himself a hole. It's great.
What is with this
You
music?
realize that yet?
It's Maternal Heart. It's a great track.
Yeah, you're on
We
Claudia's
just got like
side.
the 70s porn drum beat
Told you
going on
I'm in
though.
the same category as that mad woman.
Dat bass dough.
Well, you're pretty loony yourself.
I love. Okay, just watch. This is a great exchange.
It's true.
What?
We believe in the same God.
Oh, so he's trying to claim that he's like Claudia, but like
Not, yeah.
of a sane
So why
mind.
did you
Like,
help me out then?
come on, dude.
Was that also part of trying to resurrect God?
It's not uncommon for people to worship the same God and still disagree.
I mean,
God?
yeah.
You sure you don't mean devil?
I'll admit that. Yeah. Whichever you like. Holy cow.
Wow.
It is. But now I really am on your side.
Jeez. I know a Vincent in real life for real though.
God is actually Satan.
Wouldn't be convenient.
Imagine the conundrums that would present.
Much too unpredictable.
Oh, just watch him dig this hole.
So you've been using me to stop Claudia? Is that it?
Don't you want to stop Claudia anyway?
Do your own dirty work.
She doesn't like being used, is all.
I mean, yeah, but
I think we both had our own interests in mind. You hate her too, don't you?
well, yeah.
She was just like,
You're
okay.
the only one who can get it done.
How's that true though?
I don't have powers
Oh.
like you two.
I think you have some powers of your own, dude.
I always hated getting all hot.
I love Heather's expression. Like, whatever.
Oh, really?
I'm just looking out for myself.
Are we sure that we're still in a serious survival horror game here?
Well, watch this.
Don't stand there looking so smug. You're the worst person in this room. You come here and enjoy spilling their blood. And listening to them cry out.
You mean the
feel
demons?
excited when you step on them and snuff out their lives.
Are you talking about the monsters?
Monsters?
Monsters? That's what you think they are?
Monsters to you?
What a turnaround.
It's just a joke.
That messed with every player that ever played.
By the way,
I think he's actually joking, by the way.
Yeah.
did you get the seal of
I'm almost alone in that.
You don't have it?
Well,
Leonard was carrying it.
Either way,
You
it's
could argue both ways.
it's kind of an obvious twist. Like either way.
Yes, that's it.
Like,
Yeah, but you never really think about it until the game's like, oh yeah, by the way.
well, I contest that because I clearly thought about it in like the second episode or something.
I mean, you came up with the idea, but you probably didn't. Like, you probably didn't like actually think like, well, I mean, then I should probably avoid because I'm killing people.
Well, no, partially it's because I've seen enough of these sorts of games to be like, oh yeah, there's the twist where the monsters were people all along. Oh.
A thing that messes with me though is he straight up says it's just a joke, and I actually believe him there.
Yeah.
I think that they're not replaced people. I think she's actually like shifted into a different world entirely.
Considering the state of the normal world in the times that we're in it like there aren't that many people around here anyway. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Like there would be a significant number of people like that we would interact with at least once or twice, other than these characters who seem to be the same in both worlds. Unless again we're just like shifting at random between Hell World and normal world.
There's usually like a transition moment.
Are we in normal world right now?
No.
Yeah. Okay. So Vincent's the same in both
Well,
worlds.
unless we are. Yeah, Vincent, we found him in Otherworld. So.
And hasn't Douglas been in both worlds too or something?
Yeah, he was horrified when we next see him after killing the split worm.
Yeah, so I think it's hard to I think it's harder to say that it is like, oh, the monsters are transformed humans than it is to say they're just Silent Hill monsters.
Yeah, like I honestly, it's not just because I'm like a relentless optimist. I'm pretty sure these are legit, actual monsters from Silent Hill that come around because of the world shifting that Heather's undergoing because, pregnant.
Yeah.
And she drags others with her.
Also, hi Hell. Speaking of.
Yeah, this entire thing is like a weird jumble of hell and like memories. This entire like series of rooms.
Oh.
Like, is this really in the chapel? I bet you it isn't.
Well, nothing important here.
Nothing at all.
That's definitely that's a very adventure game protagonist thing to say. Big body, like big pile of corpses and a like mausoleum crematorium thing in the middle of a world shifted chapel. Nothing interesting to see here.
I mean, she even makes the comment like, "This place has got me used to the weirdest things." And
Yeah.
fair dues.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Like, after a while, you gotta either like freak out at everything or just get used to it. So,
And she's gotten used to it, I guess.
it's like some offshoot of Stockholm Syndrome. Dad's diary? Reincarnation. Well, Cheryl, Alessa, Heather, who's who?
Well, a spoiler, not really a spoiler, because it was kind of revealed there. Her name is actually Cheryl again. Like, he just renamed the baby Cheryl. But then after the whole incident with the cultists, like, they went and took new names. What?
It's It's so confusing. Alessa is Cheryl, who's... No, Heather is Alessa, who's Cheryl, who is... But Alessa's also named Cheryl, and they're all the babies.
Yeah, Alessa gave birth to, like this Cheryl, but Alessa also split off into a different Cheryl. It's not that hard.